I will tell you that it is a lot easier to talk yourself into a ticket than it is to talk yourself out of one. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law. In the car on my way to court again. Right now, I want to talk to you about the ever popular traffic ticket. What do you do if a police officer pulls you over while you're driving? Well, you have to provide him your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration in those states. You are going to have to roll the window down some. I mean, don't be an idiot. I will tell you that it is a lot easier to talk yourself into a ticket than it is to talk yourself out of one. When a police officer comes up to you, they will ask, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" If you say no, he's going to educate you. If you say yes and give him a reason, that's one of the things you're going to be getting a ticket for. For example, police officer comes up the window and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" You say, "Well, yeah, I blew that stop sign back there. I was just doing 90 and a 60, and I'm passing a trash truck. I was just doing 90 and a 60, and now I'm on the side of the road after an improper turn." Well, you admitted it, man. Now you can't do anything with that. Don't answer questions. What you say when the officer comes up and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" "How can I help you today, officer?" It's simple, it's polite, it's courteous, it's not being a jerk, and you didn't answer the question. Say that again. And you didn't answer the question. So, when the officer writes your ticket and hands it to you, they may want you to sign it. Some places are going to ask you to sign. That's your promise that you will take care of the ticket. Either pay it or appear in court. You should do that. If you don't, the alternative is they take you to jail and you bond out of jail. Nobody's got time for that. So, go ahead, you sign the ticket, and you be as unmemorable as possible. Don't argue with them. Don't give them a hard time. Be polite, be courteous, and be forgetful. Okay? Now, as far as your conduct in the car, where do you keep your driver's license? Where do you keep your registration, proof of insurance? You know, keep that stuff where it's easy to get at. One of the things they're going to do is they're going to be watching how you get your information. You know, when you open your glove box, does, you know, an ounce and a half of weed fall out of the glove box? Do you have a pipe in there? Can they see a roach in your center console? Okay. One, be smart. Roaches get people in trouble. And shit, man, they're horrible smoking. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't keep anything in your car. It doesn't make any sense, and it gets you busted. That said, keep your license where it's easily accessible so you don't have to fumble and fight for it. My license, my wallet's got this little plastic screen, you know, and when I go to get my license, I gotta fight with the thing to get it out. It's horrible. That can give an officer a reasonable suspicion that you might be under the influence of something, and they'll ask you to step out of the car. If they do ask you to step out of the car, lock the door behind you. If he asks you why you locked it, just say have it. Don't leave it unlocked. If the police officer asks for consent to search, say no. I don't ever consent to a search. You can say, hey, I saw this lawyer guy on YouTube and he said not to consent to a search. He said, if you have probable cause, you're going to do it anyway. You don't need my consent. So I'm not going to consent. Consent cures all ills. The stop could be improper. The officer could be completely out of line. Hell, the traffic stop could be over and he's extending it improperly. If you consent to the search, that's all cured. The officer's no longer going to lose what he finds. There's a fantastic case that was just tossed down south of me here in Missouri. A person got caught with a shit ton of marijuana in their car, but it was an improper search because the officer didn't have the right grounds to get in search. All the evidence is tossed. People are free. Great job. So remember, never consent to a search. Now, do it in a nice way. Again, don't be an asshole. If you're going to deal with a police officer on the side of the road, be nice, be polite, but also be firm. No. I don't consent to a search of my vehicle. Be unequivocal. I'm not ever going to consent to a search for my vehicle. If you have probable cause to search it, you're going to. You don't need my consent. So I'm not going to consent. Don't talk about things. Oh, police officers love doing this. Is there anything in your vehicle I need to know about? No. There's nothing you need to know about. And damn sure if I had 5 kilos of cocaine in the trunk, you don't need to know about that. Come on, that's a ridiculous question. So remember, be polite, be unmemorable, don't answer direct questions. If you are being asked direct questions, respond with a question. Is there anything in your car you need to know about? Is there something in particular you're looking for, officer? Just try not to do it in one of those weird ways that makes it look like you're trying to sell the guy drugs. That doesn't go over well. So that's it, man. The number one rule that I have for people dealing with police officers is remember, stand on your rights. You don't consent to a search. Don't answer questions. If they're insisting on talking to you, am I detained or am I free to go? I don't answer questions without my attorney, and I want my attorney. And remember, you have to ask for your attorney. If you don't ask for your attorney, you're not invoking your right to counsel. Merely saying, I don't answer questions without my attorney, doesn't invoke your right to remain silent or your right for an attorney. You want to say, I'm not answering questions without my attorney, and I want my attorney. You have to ask for your attorney. Wow, that sun is bright. So, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. This is the same thing we harp on over and over and over. And defense attorneys everywhere, I'll speak for all of us right now, would absolutely love it if you stop consenting to searches and you shut up.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Don't answer questions. Don't consent to searches. Be polite. Be unmemorable. Sign your ticket if they ask you to. And get the hell out of Dodge. That's how you handle a ticket.